Hey, so it's Tuesday. It's been a while. I was able to record on Sunday. That was really struggling though. Um, now I have some news. Um, First off, if all goes well, then on Saturday morning, I will be live streaming with Owen MacDonald. He is in the UK, so he's 5 hours ahead of me. But we should be streaming about 9 a.m. Eastern. Um, and he is a leftist, but he seems to be open-minded. I started watching his latest live stream. Not quite all the way through with it yet, but I'll get through with it. See how he does and what kind of ideas he has. And get prepared to talk with him. Now, one other piece of news. Tomorrow, Wednesday the 20th, that is my birthday. It is May 20th. I may be celebrating my birthday. I may not be recording at all tomorrow. I do have driving school in the morning, so I won't be able to record until afternoon. And that is if I record. I may not record. I may just relax the whole day and take the day off. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. The meta right. What is the meta right? Well, Urban Dictionary has a couple of definitions. Let me pull these up here. Meta right, a dialectic between the Deleuzian left and the integral right. A dialectic between a pro-nominalist right wing and an egoistic left wing. The right tends to oppose nominalism, whereas the left tends to oppose egoism. Then there's a second definition, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I think it's French, or it may be Italian. I'm not sure. The meta right is a fin de siècle movement. Fin de siècle as in the end of an era. It is literary and political. And aesthetic. It is a literary, political, and aesthetic movement that reflects the shifting paradigm which denotes the end of the modern era for both the right and the left. As opposed to meta-modern movements, the meta-right, or MR, returns to the pre-Enlightenment ideas and from this point takes intellectual paths that avoid outcomes such as democracy, nationalism, socialism, and multiculturalism. It is a mouvement de balayage from the left to the right. There used to be a third definition on there, but that definition got removed. So let's talk about what the meta-right is. In order to talk about what the meta-right is, we have to talk about the history of the meta-right and how the meta-right came into being. And to do that, we have to go back to 2015 and 2016, and a little bit of 2017. So, in 2015-2016, this was the presidential election that Donald Trump was running for the first time. Now, during this point in time, this was shortly after Gamergate, so it became apparent that right-wingers were being censored. All right-wingers, not just the authoritarians, not just the bigots, but everyone, the libertarians, the moderate conservatives, they were all being censored. So during this time, there were various rallies that were general right-wing rallies. They weren't specifically conservative or specifically fascistic or specifically libertarian. They were general right-wing rallies, and so many different factions came together to join these rallies. And this began a discussion, and also online this happened as well. people began interacting from different factions. They began interacting more and more. And so discourse began between the different factions of the right wing, and new ideas began to be created. Very interesting ideas. This was the period when anarcho-fascism was published. This is the period when Insula Key began writing. And this is the period when libertarians started becoming authoritarian, oddly enough. This is when Hop became real popular, Hans Hermann Hop, Triple H. And this is also when Augusto Pinochet started becoming popular, at least in right-wing circles. So, out of the chaos that was created by these different factions of the right wing conversing with each other, when they normally would be shut off from each other and completely closed-minded to each other, out of that chaos came the meta-right. And what is the meta-right? The meta-right is much more fluid than anything else. It can be authoritarian in some cases. It can be libertarian in other cases. It can even take on aspects of the left wing if it needs to, or if it feels like it, like in the case of the Deleuzian analysis. And also there are people who specialize in hauntology, who are focused on hauntology, rather, who are in the meta-right. So, the meta-right, I am a true believer in the meta-right. And the reason for this is because of its fluidity, because of how adaptable it is. It is, because of how fluid it is, it doesn't just stick to one thing or another. It is highly, highly adaptable. And this is perfect for solving problems. This is perfect for overcoming issues. This is perfect for unifying people. And that is why I support the meta-right. Now, the meta-right has a founder, actually, a singular founder. Although he kind of seems to have moved away from politics. But that is, I believe, I used to believe he was Indian. I've heard he is Pakistani. He is named Kashif Vikas. He founded the meta-right, and he is more of an anarcho-capitalist. But he's someone I consider a friend, and he has done a lot of good work in the past. Unfortunately, I do believe he has moved away from politics, and he's kind of gone offline, and I haven't heard from him in like a month. But, yeah, the meta-right is something you should look into. It's something that you should look out for, because there's more being written on the meta-right. And, dissident politics, I don't believe is dead. Dissident, right-wing politics, I do not believe is going away anytime soon. I do believe that dissident movements will continue to be growing in size and continue to be going mainstream. Thank you for watching. Peace.